Here are the only two products you need to deep clean your car's paint: a surfactant heavy rinseless wash, and for that wettest gloss and deep rich shine with some awesome hydrophobics, Katiba's Wet Wax. So if you want to see how to make your car super shiny, let's get started with the video. Welcome back to another Thor Media podcast. I am your host, Sock from Detailing Made Simple. And yes, today I am in my other garage, and there will be two videos in this garage for this week. So my cousin is leaving back on Wednesday, and the electrician will be here on Thursday to add all this other lighting up here. So stay tuned for that one, because I will be doing a core 4 products that I think is a core 4, a strong 4 from Detail Co. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. He'll be with a bunch of lighting, especially with my car. But I am here to showcase Katiba's Wet Wax and show you the awesome hydrophobics, the easy wipe on, wipe off, and at the end, the gloss and shine. I will pull it right outside so you all can see on how it leaves the paint looking deep, wet, and rich. And I wanted to do it on my cousin's vehicle because my vehicle is white. It's better to show it on a darker color vehicle. Now, in terms of the rinseless wash, I will show you the process on what you will want. So of course, if you want the best longevity with wet wax of Kativa, of course you want to wash, clay the vehicle. But this vehicle was already decontaminated about 2 weeks ago, so I am not worried about this whatsoever. All we're gonna do is just do the straight rinseless wash, and I'll be using Nemesis from Detail Co. and the red sponge, which is the iconic, which you can all get at the House of Rags. Just use code DMS at checkout for 10% off, or use whatever content creator of your choice. But yeah, I'm just gonna show you a quick half, and the walk around that you saw, the vehicle was dirty. All I'm gonna do is pre-spray the entire panel with the rinseless, even on the glass. And I'm just gonna do just this half of the vehicle. I'm not going to bore you with anything. Really, this will be a quick 10 to 15 minute video of just showing the process on how I would do this and apply wet wax. And the drying towels will be the Diva rinseless towels. And yeah, so once the chemical is sit on and the rinseless is on the paint, I'm gonna add, this is 2 gallons, so it's 1 cap full per gallon. So I'm gonna put 2 gallons of, or 2 capfuls of Nemesis in here, split it up, and we are ready to wash. Now, one thing for sure is you want to use a heavy surfactant type of rinseless wash, because you don't want any type of protection. You just want a pure clean and rinseless. So you could use DIY Detail rinseless wash, McKee's 37, and of course this one right here, or even you can also get at the House of Rags, which I have right around here. You could even use Preludio from Labo Cosmetica, which is their alkaline soap, and use that to fully deep clean if you want as well. But since I said this vehicle was already decontaminated before, already deep clean and washed, I'm not worried about having to use an alkaline soap. And the last time I did this video, I just used the Stay Strong detail spray when you saw that podcast about 2 weeks ago. So all I'm doing here is just cleaning the surface, not doing any pressure. There's not crazy amount of dirt, grit, and grime, because when it was sitting there for 2 weeks, it barely drove anywhere. And then it just came straight down here to South Carolina. It just really has just regular dirt, grit, and grime, not like mountains where it drove over 1,000 miles plus through heavy rains and all that other stuff throughout the week before I ended up doing my full move here. And yeah, so you just apply the rinseless on the surface. I'm just dunking it in here. It's so much easier when the vehicle is cleaned. And that's pretty much it. Here on the lower rocker panels, you see all that dirt. Let me bring you up. All that dirt. And this is why I love Detail Co. Look at that. Nice and clean. And yeah, this is pretty much it in essence of what needs to be done. I'm going to spray the rest in here. Make sure I clean this panel nice. Flip it around. Yep, this panel is nice and clean. Come back up here. And do this. Dunk it back in here. And we are ready to dry the vehicle. Now, the great thing about a rinseless wash is there is no drying aid needed whatsoever for this. So what I'm going to do is just use Detail Co's Nemesis as the drying aid, and just no pressure. This isn't the slickest rinseless wash because it doesn't have any protection, but it is slick in terms when you're cleaning it and using it with the sponge, and it is still slick with a towel. Just don't expect it to be ultra slick. And as I stated before, this doesn't have any protection. All we used was the Detail Co's Stay Strong Detailer the last time I did this. So there is no real protection whatsoever. What we do is just clean the area, dry the area, and we are ready to apply the wet wax. I thought I had my Mr. Twisters here as well, but I like to use the Mr. Twister and the final level towel. I like to use the final level towel as my application towel, and then the Mr. Twister as my final buff. I found that to be my awesome combination, but these two will work just fine as well. You can even get the white one, which is the first level, and apply it and then use the final level, because the final level one is a little bit plusher, and that's pretty much it. And I will show you my favorite application process. You can directly spray it on the panel. I like to just spray it on the towel, a couple sprays here just to saturate the towel first. And then I like to get close on the panel and do 2 sprays like that. And then from here, we're just going to apply it. Now, this doesn't have like a, I'm not gonna say it just has a chemical scent. It doesn't have any type of sweet, satisfying scent of some sort. And you just spread it on the panel and buff off. Same thing over here. Once we get close, spray 2 here. And once the towel is already damp, we just wipe. You could do straight lines, circles, triangles. Doesn't really matter at this point because the panel is clean. I will have to polish the vehicle eventually. This does have the 5-year coating from OP, and it's been there already for a year and a half. I think this is year 2 actually. This is year 2, and my cousin doesn't really take care of the vehicle. And yeah, this is how easy it is to apply wet wax. And this wet wax is designated to last about 2 months of protection on the paint. Nothing crazy or significant. It's not like their signature wax, which is like their true sealant. This is more of give it a carnauba type of glow. That's why it's called wet wax. And it's just meant to last a couple months. Now, in terms of hydrophobics, it's very, very nice hydrophobics. You will see the nice tight beads at the end of the video. But in terms of the application process, this is just such a very easy and forgiving product to use. And you can use this anywhere. You could use it on the infotainment screen on the inside if you want. It works amazingly well on glass, which you will see at the end as well. And also works superbly well on your rims, if you want to apply it on your rims, it's not going to last that much, but the hydrophobics is there and give it some sort of protection. And yeah, this is how easy it is, and right away visually you can see an enhanced gloss. Just even if I stand to the side, just look at that. It just gives it that nice warm glow. Yeah, so I will show you on the outro. Let me just do the entire car so you can see and enjoy the supreme gloss it's going to leave behind. Hopefully you all enjoyed the application process of Kativa Wet Wax. Now, as I do the walk around and do the talk through, I'm just going to talk about the application process of what my overall thoughts is on Kativa Wet Wax, and just a little bit more info for you all just to know and understand what you're getting to. Now, in terms of the aesthetics of the bottle, it's just a fantastic aesthetic. Now, also, the second thing is it doesn't have like a pleasant like fruity smell or orange or type of clean smell. This smells a bit just like a chemical, and in South Korea they're pretty much just straight on worried about the performance and the actual thought of how the chemical works versus the smell and the pleasant use. So it's just you know, it's more of a preference, but overall it works great. Now, in terms of wet wax, what does wet wax mean? It doesn't mean that you apply it wet on the paint and rinse off. It just means that you apply it dry. The name of wet wax is the reason of it leaving such a super wet look, as you see on the entire walk around. It just leaves that nice, awesome wet look. Now, don't expect crazy amount of slickness. Yes, is it slick on the paint? It is, but don't expect crazy amount of slickness. And second thing, don't expect a whole bunch of stout protection. This is only meant to last about 2 to 3 months on your paints if you really maintain it. But in terms of the gloss, just think of it like a nice durable gloss detailer and just enjoy that. Now, in terms of hydrophobics, you see it's very nice and decent hydrophobics. I can't complain about the hydrophobics. As you see me spraying it with the IK sprayer, it's very nice round beads. But overall, you can't go wrong with this. This is just something that you can use every single wash. Just apply it onto the paint, wipe on, wipe off, and if you don't maintain the vehicle, it may last a month and a half. But overall, I am super excited for this and I enjoyed it so far. Now, just a quick recap of everything that I've used in this entire video is for the tires. I did use Detail Co's Guardian dressing and I used it neat. I may dye it down once I'm down to half of it. I may knock it down to a 101 and see how that looks. But overall, the tires look amazing and deep, rich, and dark. Now, second thing I've used was the Detail Co's Nemesis. You want to use a pure cleaning rinseless or say a pH neutral soap after your wash if you're going to apply wet wax. So that way it just bonds better. You don't want to add, say, a wash and wax soap and then apply wet wax. It's not going to last that well, and don't expect the crazy gloss that you will get from wet wax. Second thing, or last thing pretty much, was the Detail Co's or the House of Rags Diva Rinseless. I only use 2 rinseless towels to use on the entire vehicle. These are super absorbent, probably one of my favorite towels at the moment of all time, just because they're super light and enjoyable to use. And yeah, so if you want to order anything, just use code DMS at checkout and you can get it at the House of Rags. Overall, the vehicle came out amazing. Now hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and you will see on the next one on how my garage is slightly upgraded. I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.